From myself, MrCV, and the CV family, and my family as well, wishing every person, every Muslim, my viewers, a happy Eid. Obviously, it's your boy MrCV. I'm back and I'm back again. And first of all, what I want to say Eid Mubarak to all the Muslims around the world, Muslim brothers, Muslim sisters from MrCV. Eid Mubarak to all my Muslim viewers as well. And obviously, may Allah accept this as an act of ibadah. So may Allah accept this as an act of worship. Even if you're not a Muslim and you don't celebrate Eid, I wish you happiness and any celebration you're doing. I wanted to talk about my fasting actually, because obviously it's been a very tough time for everybody, not just myself being a Muslim, but a lot of people all around the world, especially with this pandemic as well. Normally within the fasting as well, I try to keep myself fit as much as possible. I try to exercise, and I lose a lot of muscle as well. I lose a lot of muscle mass, and I lose a lot of weight, and which obviously I've put my weight down on, which I'm on about 65.3 kg, which is very, very low. Normally I'm around 67, 70 mark, but obviously with the fasting as well, it's been very difficult. While I fast as well, I try and play football, but this year has been extremely difficult because I've struggled to wake up in order to eat. So most times I've just fasted without eating for the whole day. And literally, most time when I do wake up, I'm so tired that I just drink water and then go back to sleep, and that's it really. Also, you can see slowly I'm starting to build up the muscle mass back up again, so I'm nice and what they call lean, which just means I'm just in a okay shape for now. But obviously my aim is, once the fasting is finished, is to get back to full fitness. Now let me take you some of the things about fasting in case you don't know. Now with fasting lasts 30 days, 29 to 30 days, depending on the sighting of the moon, which is done in Saudi Arabia. Some of the things we're expected to do in this month of Ramadan is obviously praying tahajjud as well. This is a prayer we pray in the middle of the night, which is supposed to be praying as well in the middle of the night. These things are not compulsory. They're just a way for you to obviously get closer to God, be extra prayerful. We start the fasting at early, very, very early in the morning, which is before the sunrise, and then we end it after the sunset, so which is very, very late in the night. And obviously depending on which country you are in, that could be later or earlier, depending on which country you are in. What we normally do to celebrate Eid, we normally go to the mosque to pray, and after we finish the praying, most people go to their family, go and enjoy, and obviously spend time with their family, their friends, wishing them a happy Eid. Now, a lot of people get it wrong. Fasting is not just fasting in the month of Ramadan. There are also other fasting you could do, but these are known as wajib. Wajib it means compulsory, but if you don't do it, there is no sin towards it. With the fasting of Ramadan is normally known as fard, which fard in Arabic means compulsory. It means you have to do it, unless you have exceptions from fasting, such as, for example, if you were pregnant, then obviously you're not expected to fast, and there's so many other conditions as well which can exempt you from fasting. But for most Muslims, fasting is a compulsory act of worship and is one of the 5 pillars of Islam as well, which obviously is very, very important. When it comes to fasting, it's a very, very spiritual time for Muslims, and is a case where we believe as Muslims that this is the time where the devil, which is known as shaitan in Arabic, the devil is locked up, and all your sins are literally, you're literally forgiven for that 30 days. But obviously with the fasting, the aim is try and be as good Muslim as you can within those times, or try and be a good person as you can, so that once the fasting finish, you can hopefully continue that and continue that way. But one of the main reasons Muslims fast is obviously to be able to be in people's shoes, especially people's shoes that don't have food, don't have shelter, don't have basic necessities, and then being in that position to be able to know how it feels. But then also is a spiritual time, because that's a time for us to increase our charity work, to increase our prayer, to increase getting closer to God. I'm not the greatest Muslim, I'm not the best Muslim, but it is a time that I do take very seriously, because it's a time for me to go extra mile and be close to God as much as I can. When it comes to the time of fasting, so a lot of people, fasting, you just fast and that's it. No. Islam itself is a very, very practical religion. When I say practical, what I mean by everything you do, there's a step or there's a process of you doing it. For example, if you're fasting, we have to pray nightly prayer, which is called Tarawih. And this nightly prayer, you go to the mosque. Obviously, with this pandemic, it's been a bit difficult, because normally when I do go to the mosque at this moment, the queue is very long, and sometimes it can be very difficult, because sometimes you have to wait a long time, and sometimes I have to wake up early in the morning, so it's a bit difficult. So obviously, I've been praying at home. Another thing as well we do as well is to increase, obviously, reading the Quran. I've been very fortunate enough to be able to read Arabic. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون صدق الله العظيم. So I read Arabic quite fluently, actually. Quite fluently. When it comes to this fasting time, it's a case of obviously trying to be a better Muslim. The point of the fasting is not just for you to do things to increase your reading of the Quran, to increase your faith in God, but obviously to continue this after the fast is finished. And I think quite a lot of people, yes, within that 30 days, they try and curb themselves from abstaining from all these things that they're not supposed to do as Muslims. And then as soon as the 30 days finish, they go back to being their old self. And obviously, this 30 days of fasting is a chance for obviously redemption as a Muslim. But obviously just to think about certain things that we want to change and improve about ourselves. And there's a lot of things obviously I want to change and improve about myself, and I'm still developing myself, which goes back to my ethos of the channel, which is about developing you as being the CV. Just to give an insight on obviously fasting. Obviously my fasting is always very difficult, and obviously it's very tough. Normally if you're living with your family, I think it's much easier to fast, because there's more of a community towards it. You have people waking you up to fast. When you're kind of living by yourself or you're busy working and stuff, it can be a bit tricky in terms of when it comes to fasting, because sometimes the time in between praying in the night and waking up again is a very, very short timing, in terms of sometimes about 2-hour gap. And most times, once you go to sleep, to wake back up, it can be very, very tough. And I fall into that category. But most people, they just don't go to sleep. They just stay up till they eat in the morning and then go to sleep. But for me, sometimes I have to go to sleep because I need to wake up early, about 6 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I have to go to work or do other things as well. Like I said from the beginning, obviously, Eid Mubarak to every Muslim. I hope you had a fantastic fasting, and I hope you enjoy your day with your family, with your friends, and obviously keep supporting your boy. It's your boy, MrCV. Have a nice day and stay safe.